Hi everyone, Angela here. Print out the Toula Clear View Phone Sling pouch at 100% letter size and check with the 1-inch square. Links for this pattern and the tools I use can be found down in the description below. Cut out all the pattern pieces and then cut out the small notches at the top of piece B and also on the sides of pieces D and F. Join pieces B and C together. For the front window, I'm using crystal clear vinyl that's 20 gauge or 0.5 millimeters thick. You can use a thinner vinyl. I just bought this from the hardware store. Cut one of pattern piece A. I find this easiest using an X-Acto knife. For the fabric, I'm actually using a cotton pillowcase that has a different pattern on each side. You can use the same fabric for all the pieces, but I'm going to cut the back out of one pattern and the bindings and side loops out of the other. I'm using my 6-inch Kai embroidery scissors to cut the notches on the two smaller pieces. To give the pouch some body, I'm using heavy non-woven fusible interfacing with the glue dots on one side. Cut one for the back piece. With the glue side up, place the wrong side of the fabric on top and press together. To prepare the top binding, fold in half at the notches with wrong sides together and press. Open up and fold the outer edges to the center and press. Match the folded edges and press again. Repeat for the bottom binding and the side loops. With the back piece right side up, carefully place the pattern piece on top. Use an X-Acto knife to push through the slit marks and also cut the side notches. The center cuts should be about 1/4 inch or 5 millimeters long. For the closure, we'll be using a 1/2 inch or 14 millimeter handbag magnet. There's 2 flat washers for the back, a thinner male piece with a nub, and a thicker female piece with a socket. Push the thicker female piece through the slits and then turn over to the back. Place a washer on top, and then I just use the edge of a ruler to fold over each prong to the side, and then I push the ruler on top to make it nice and flat. Open up the top binding and then place the top edge of the vinyl along the center. Carefully place the front pattern piece on top of the vinyl. Again, use an X-Acto knife to cut the 2 slits through all the layers. To insert the male piece, this time go from the back, push through all the layers, and complete with the washer. Fold down the binding, matching the edges, and clip in place. You'll notice that the magnet's a little bit closer to the top edge so that it's not in our way when we sew the lower edge. Open up the bottom binding piece, place the bottom edge of the vinyl right on the center, fold the binding again, and clip in place. I'm using a Brother NV50S sewing machine. The link for this and the tools I use are in the description below. Make sure to use coupon code NOTCHES_NV50S for the special offer. Increase the stitch length to 3.5. Edge stitch the sides of the loop piece 1/8 inch from the edge. Fold in half and cut into 2 equal pieces. When sewing with this vinyl, it's really easy for it to stick to the surface of the sewing machine and also under the presser foot. I'm going to switch to a teflon foot, and I also have some wide painter's tape that I'm going to apply to the machine bed. If you don't have a teflon foot, you can also add a piece of tape to the underside of your presser foot. First, we'll edge stitch the top binding. Stitch 1/8 inch from the folded edge, back tacking at the start and finish. Repeat for the bottom binding. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, and also leave a comment below. Next, clip the magnet together with the vinyl on top. Line up the sides and then just clip the bottom of the vinyl to hold it in place. Take a loop piece and with that folded edge at the top, fold it in half and then center it onto the side of the top binding. Clip it in place and repeat on the other side. Next, we'll stitch down the edge of the bottom binding. Again, stitch 1/8 inch from the edge, back tacking at the start and finish. Then remove the bottom clips. Next, we'll stitch down the side loops. Start by putting your needle through all of the layers, reverse a couple of stitches, and then stitch in place. Fold in half with right sides together, matching the top and side edges. The edge of the bottom binding should be just before that center fold. Clip the edges together and then turn over to the side with the magnet. At the top, fold both layers tightly together right at the notch and clip in place. Repeat on the other side. Starting at the top, stitch with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, back tacking at the start and finish. Flip over and stitch starting from the top again. Trim all the corners, making sure not to cut any of the stitching. Open up the top and then pull at the sides to fold over that top edge and crease it across. Now gather it up like a sock, push out the bottom corners and turn it right side out. If you're having trouble with this, you can use a hairdryer to gently heat up the vinyl and it'll make it a little bit easier to turn. Use a knitting needle or a point turner to carefully poke out the bottom corners. Adjust along the sides so that the seam is right in the middle. At the top, make sure the edges are folded in even and straight, clip together, and then clip both sides. Starting from the bottom, we'll top stitch 1/8 inch from the edge. The edge of the pouch is just running along the center of the foot. Go nice and slow, making sure that the pouch isn't sticking. Pivot at the corner, stitch across the top edges, pivot again, and then finish your stitching at the other bottom corner. There's no need to stitch across the bottom edge. I'm using about a 1/4 inch wide cotton cording for the strap. Measure out about 60 inches, tape around the cord, and then cut down the middle of the tape. Thread the ends through the loops, and if you want to add large beads, thread them through those as well. Tie a knot, then cut away the tape on the ends and fluff them up. It's really handy being able to check your phone without taking it out of the pouch.